My name is Jose Aliaga, and welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today I have a special guest, my friend and a political analyst, Troy Coffin. How you doing, Troy?
Doing great, Jose. Everything's good on my side of the screen. Hopefully, you're doing well.
Thank you, Troy. I'm always happy to see you here. I saw you the other day
Pleasure.
on LinkedIn, and we talk about the Republican primary and as you know, Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida just announced he's going to be running for president of the United States. And also we have the South Carolina senator. And let's talk about what's going on because Tim Scott, I think, is a good candidate as well. We have so many candidates that the landscape is, getting so crowded, and probably
Absolutely.
people that are watching right now would like to know a little bit about them. So, what do you think? What is your opinion? I mean,
Well,
mhm,
we have roughly 10 candidates who have either entered or are strongly considering entering.
mhm.
You have the former President Donald J. Trump, who was the clear front runner. You have Governor Ron DeSantis, and then you have handful of people that may not be may just be trying to get name recognition or may have ulterior motive or whatever their reason is for jumping in. But you do have some second tier candidates as well.
So you think Donald Trump is the front runner? Yes or no?
Absolutely, I do. I think Donald Trump is the clear front runner at this point. I can't see that changing in the near future.
So at this point, this is an election of two candidates only, Donald Trump and Governor DeSantis. What do you think? Yes or no?
Well, a lot can change between now and 2024. However, at the moment, I can't see that narrative changing. So my answer as of right now would be yes, but we'll have to wait and see what happens going forward.
And, and it's a good opinion because this primary, this election is different. You see, back in the day, every Republican primary, whoever is the front runner, start building momentum. But when we get close to the primary, they never win. If you remember, Rudy Giuliani was winning the primary back in 2008, and then John McCain got the primary, and he was running against basically Mitt Romney in 2008. But a lot of people saw that Rudy Giuliani is the front runner and he's gonna get it. It didn't happen. And
And it didn't happen for Jeb Bush in 2016. So,
right. So right now it's Donald Trump. But if we look the polls, and let me show you the polls, it's a good number to check to the public. Let's see what is the polls here. Hold on. Because I saw the number the other day, the numbers on the polls, and I think are good numbers to see. You see the numbers here? According to Fox News poll, do you see on the screen?
yes.
Donald Trump now have 53% and Ron DeSantis has 20%. Now, Mike Pence, he have 5%. And this is the former vice president of Donald Trump. He have 5%. Now, Nikki Haley, former governor for South Carolina, 4%. And then we have Vivek Ramaswamy, which is 4%. And then Liz Cheney, 2%. And Tim Scott, 2%. Now, Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina, and Nikki Haley are from the same, the same state because Tim Scott is a U.S. senator from South Carolina, and Nikki Haley is a former governor of South Carolina, but also she was the ambassador of the United Nations for the United States during Trump administration. Now, Nikki Haley and Mike Pence are part of the Trump administration from 2016 and 2020, interested in running against Donald Trump. Now, if you see the polls, Donald Trump started in February 2023 with 43% and actually increased 10%. Now, DeSantis from 28, he decreased to 20%. Well, part of it is in the beginning of February, probably a lot of people saw he's running and then he didn't make his mind until just a few days ago. Now, do you think this election again? Now, then I show you the polls. Do you think it's between DeSantis and Donald Trump, or because Donald Trump already have 53%, he's gonna build from there? What do you
Well,
think?
I initially said I thought it was between DeSantis and Trump. However, I think that Trump widened the margin after he was arrested by District Attorney Alvin Bragg in New York City. I think a lot of people were starting to jump on the DeSantis train. He's been very effective as governor of Florida. A lot of people thought that he was treading in the right direction. However, once President Trump was arrested, I think it unified a lot of people around him. And so once President Trump was taken and you saw him in court, you saw the cameras on him, it unified a lot of people around him.
Okay, Troy, let's take Donald Trump and DeSantis out of this picture. You see the numbers and you see what's going on here. Out of the rest of the candidates, which of them do you think have a slight chance to maybe increase in the next couple months?
Tricky to say. There's always, Tim Scott's on paper, he's a good candidate. Then, of course, you have the Trump opposition. You have the Liz Cheneys and the Chris Christies and the Governor Hutchinson and Arkansas. You have your Trump opposition. I can't really see them getting far in a GOP primary at this point. But you never know. Nikki Haley or Vivek or any of these people could gain a little bit of popularity between now and the primary. But I still just can't foresee any of them taking down President Trump. I think President Trump's going to come out victorious.
Well, Liz Cheney, a lot of people remember her having a strong opposition about President Trump. And as you remember, she was running one of the communities that was totally 100% against Trump. And do you think she have a chance? Currently, 2% is very surprising. I don't know where the 2% is coming around our country, but do you think she would have a chance to increase? Or, be a surprise during the next few months? Or you think this is not a race for Liz Cheney?
I don't think she has a chance, and I personally just feel that she's a distractor. She knows she can't win. Governor Hutchinson knows he can't win. Chris Christie knows he can't win. But you have some of these people that are, jumping in the race, hoping to, fracture the Trump support base. Because, in my opinion, some of these people would just rather a Democrat win than President Trump, unfortunately. But I can't. Then you have, you have your Perry Johnsons. You have. I know people are talking about Governor Youngkin potentially entering. Vivek Ramaswamy. You have some of these, Larry Elder, for instance. You have some people who are just in the race to get some of their ideas out and to get a little bit more name recognition to run for something in the future. I don't have a problem with that if people want to get in there and get some of their ideas out. But I think the Trump opposition is toxic for our party, and those people have a choice to make when it comes to supporting a Republican. And hopefully everyone does come around to supporting whoever the nominee is.
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't remember see a primary where, when we start a primary, the front runner have 53% ahead of everybody. 53 is more than 50%. You combine all the rest of the candidates, and they cannot even be close to Trump. It is sad, but it looks like I don't think so. Trump is going to lose this primary election. Now, the question is, can Trump win November election? What do you think?
I think he can. I absolutely think he can. I think a lot of people are starting to wake up, and some of the people that are like, I don't like the tweeting, I don't like the personality. I think some of those people are going to start to realize that their life was not bad under President Trump's leadership. They're going to remember when they could afford groceries. They can remember when gas was, a lot more affordable than it is today. And I think a lot of people are going to start to wake up in the near future. I think this past election was plagued by the Roe versus Wade decision, but I think a lot of momentum is going to shift in our direction this upcoming election.
So do you think that people is going to remember the mortgage interests were down? There was easy to buy a house. A lot of people has bid for a house, and It was actually you can get a lot of money when you want to sell your house, and people can get the house they want. The economy was good, inflation was under control. We didn't have any wars, and the economy was booming. People were making a lot of money for their retirement on their on 401ks. So, do you think people's gonna remember that?
I'm hopeful that they do. Yeah. Um, Ultimately, it's up to President Trump to run his best campaign, and it's up to his team to present their message in a way that resonates with the voters. Of course, you like we've talked about before, you're going to have your people to vote Republican no matter what. You're going to have your people to vote Democrat no matter what. You're trying to get that, that those people in the middle, that 20% in the middle. So, obviously running on things that appeal to those voters, and I think it can be done, and I think President Trump is gonna, President Trump is the guy, and I think he's gonna figure out how to do that, and I think he's gonna run away with this election.
So, but what happened if DeSantis win? I mean, I know saying that, but let's make let's make assume.
Hypothetical, absolutely.
Yeah, he wins. Do you think he will have a better chance for November election?
I think any Republican at this point could beat Joe Biden.
Okay. So you're the type of guy basically saying any Republican win, the people's gonna vote Republican because people are ready for change, for a positive change.
As long as they have decent name recognition. Now, we can't just have someone that no one knows, because a lot of people are very hesitant to vote for someone that they've never heard of before. But as long as it's someone that has name recognition, like President Trump, like Ron DeSantis, I can't foresee that being an issue now.
Okay. All right, Troy. Well, thank you. That was a very good analysis about what's going on in this Republican primary election. I want to thank you again for your time, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for your time, and let's see what happens in the next couple of months in the Republican primary.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Sure.